Yeah, I don't know. Well, today I'm just looking. I'm just looking at a few topics to talk about. This is another. I don't know what vlog this is. Like the 9th episode. And all I've got to say is, man, the future of YouTubing, it's totally in animation. And Newgrounds kind of died out because there was no money, right? So, like, I thought about this for a while, and I was like, huh. Like, Newgrounds and Geocities, they're kind of similar. Why am I talking about this so much? Because there's so much to cover. There's so much to talk about. It just doesn't pay money, right? Because if you talk about stuff, well, does that do anything? Are you like making a good? Are you selling a service? When you write something, are you doing anything? Like, people used to learn stuff before books came, right? People just did stupid shit and eventually A/B tested. No, you don't need books. That's why author writing doesn't make money. The truth is, no one wants to talk about it, is people just use magic to learn stuff. You don't need books, right? You don't need the internet to teach you shit. I'm serious right now. That's why I hate it. Like, that's why I'm triggered about Muckle too, because they just pressure people to go in the arts, right? That's basically what it is. So it's like, well, they call me schizophrenic because I just freaked out every time they harassed my fucking iPhone. So it's like, anyone can learn. Quantum mechanics can be learned without a yes. It's called the impulse, the sixth sense. Do you know why people don't want to use it? Because it takes too long. Yeah, you can be a caveman and learn. You can discover quantum mechanics all by yourself by accident. You just follow the word of God, right? You can. Worst case scenario. Think about it. Yes, you can. People learn stuff on the go, on the job all the time. So, I mean, look, Isaac Newton is an alchemist. So, Geocities had the same issue. Arts has a really big issue where it's not paid, right? We all know you need it, right, to advertise for the company dollar, but no one values it by itself, right? No one values the process of learning any of this stuff, right? And then the other issue is, like, you get a viewership, right? What the fuck does that mean? That doesn't mean people buy your shit, right? Okay, let's say you grow YouTubers from like 0 to 1,000 subscribers. I'm skeptical. Like, I'm the guy that's very hard to get a following, right, on YouTube. So it's like, do you know if those fuckers are gonna buy things? No offense, right? You're fans of whoever, right? You're fans of Tim Pool. You're fans of Stykes, right? Do you even know if they're gonna buy like a water bottle, right? Because you're gonna need to drink water for that. Does anyone buy? So water you do, but I mean like vacuums and any other product, right? Right? Do people buy construction material? Like, they don't. That's my problem I have with like the artist model. How do you know they're buying anything from this stuff? They get more offended. So what is it people do when they watch the videos? They're here to watch Stykes and his beautiful curly hair. They're not here to buy a vacuum product. That just offends them. Right? You advertise. That's why I keep like advertise stuff that's related to your topic. That's called What Grinds My Gears edition, by the way. People get offended. Then you lose sales. So this is why I'm kind of like, okay, yes, you do get a followership. You do get people looking into it. But does that make you any sales? That doesn't mean anything unless there's context. There needs to be context. So I'm going to look at, do you want to know why this is a real problem? Because data analysts don't know why, because corporate board directors aren't honest with data analysts about why the fuck they're doing reviews on them. Everyone's been dicking around, right? I want a job that dicks around because, like, you get paid, right? I don't think it's fair, like, you just stick people in the arts and there's no pay, right? Like, as an employer, it's like, people can say, right? It's like, well, I don't think I should throw money at you. Like, that's fine, but people want fixed income. You can't just say, like, oh, hey, I'm going to throw you off the building, right? At some point, now, the price cap probably isn't 6 figures. That's too expensive, but you still can't just be like, but the problem is you can't be like, oh, I'm not going to give you no fixed income. Like, so sales jobs, right? Those are the only default job out there. So a lot of billionaires don't tell the story, but a lot of salespeople, they used to bounce between programmer, data analyst, and all this sort of shit. And if you're a billionaire, you know that's true. Right? They used to bounce between 6 or 7 job roles. So a lot of these people in the office, they all bitch. You know that, right? So you hire these workers so that you don't have to bounce between 7 to 10 jobs, right? Right? You don't talk about those days because that's shit. right? So you hire a bunch of these workers. So you see a lot of these complaints, they look immature as fuck, right? Right? They also, billionaires, they probably bounce between warehouse work too. Right? So you don't talk about this anymore. That's what I mean. Fixed income was never a guarantee. Back in the 20s, back in the 40s, that wasn't real. That wasn't not a real thing. So what happened? They just followed God. I know if you're a billionaire, you're like, well, I don't believe in God, but you definitely know there was a story about that. Yeah, you know, Jeff Bezos had parents, right? He probably knew parents who knew other people who did weird shit, right? They're billionaires. They're running a company all by themselves. Now you say, well, that sounds like a fable, right? But I bet you they heard fables like that. Obama probably did too. Doesn't want to talk about it, right? Shameful past, right? Now I get to hire workers, make my life easier, right? It's not always worth keeping all the cheddar to yourself. Or sometimes you can't even make more money unless you hire workers. But the truth is, you don't have fixed income. Immediate positive cash flow. That's fiction. That's why you have a lot of this shitty issues with people having a hard time finding work. Because we're under the illusion that getting like a fixed amount of income is real. Right? That was never a real thing. That's a luxury. You're even lucky to have retail actually pay you $15 an hour. That's not a guarantee, right? Business, right? That's like I said, that's the bottom. There's days where you get nothing. It's just like a YouTube channel, ain't it? Isn't running Microsoft CEO like a YouTube channel? How is it not? I don't get people. So it's like, how am I doing this? Because I can't do anything else. If I could, I'd fucking opt out. All I can do is tell you the truth about this stuff. So let's look at Geocities. Their issue is they can't advertise, right? Everyone, they try to they were under the illusion you can just start a business, right? And people would just naturally buy shit, right? Without being sold off by the corporation. Right? Does Geocities want to know? So look at this stuff, right? I'm productive, but it doesn't make money. But you need to do this, right? You need to do this stuff to get business as clients to attract your business. I'm desperate. I would love to be a manager. I don't fucking care. Because this shit, sure, it gets traffic, right? But does traffic mean people buy stuff? See, Google understands that to some extent, but like their corporate team kind of sleeps half the time. I don't fucking know where they learned, what school they fucking went to, but I definitely don't think they're thinking about data analysts 24/7 like I do. Well, they're learning to do yoga. That's probably what they're up to, right? I'm here to grill and show. So what's the problem with data analysts? So let's look at, there's a parody for real life of a data analyst, right? There's a parody of it. Let me see if I can find it. So there's, actually, I think Joshua Fluke might have something. I know there was something really funny about this day in the life. There's a pair. Oh, God damn it, you don't have it. Maybe they're trying to hide. So basically, the data. There was one. I swear to God, there was a hilarious one I saw a while back. I really hate this. Damn it. I know I saw something. I wish I knew the title of any. Have like half these videos. Let's see if this one is it. I'm gonna make a product commercial next. That sounds cool. You actually can. It's 30 seconds. No, fucking no. So, anyways, I'm sorry. I have to apologize. So data analysts, they're presented data charts, right? Right? So they present it to the board of directors, and he's like, oh, hey, right? I'm angry, right? If you heard this before, I don't know if you ever heard my shower thoughts. Yeah, they're like, hey, Lo, your data tables suck. Can you bring me some, data analysts have to lie about sales numbers, right? Let me see if I can find it now. It's funny as fuck, because I'm too broke to afford some of these. I'm thinking about it when I get more money. So you want to do this, right? And why do you want to do this? Because you want to keep your job. Do you want to know why the board of directors ask you about that? Because They know they want it to generate revenue. They want data science to generate revenue like sales immediately. So what is the data analyst supposed to do, right? You have to fudge the data. There's a lot of code that doesn't work, right? It takes forever and you got deadlines due. But you make good money. So why does the guy get pissed off? Well, because you're not bouncing to another job. You're like, well, I know the data's not good. How about I do is help the sales team, right? No one does that, right? Right? When you're as a data analyst, you're expecting to like, I don't know if people are thinking of firing people right now. But basically, they're thinking of like, hey, I'm just a data analyst. You're expected to work different jobs. Like, well, I'm sorry, the sales bad. Why don't I help the sales team on this, right? Right? Why don't I do some sales, right? Along with data analysts. You're doing 2 bachelor's degree jobs, right? But that's the only way. The boards of directors expecting you to bounce. If the numbers look bad, you go and fix another department. Right? That's what it's like in warehouse works. Like, okay, if you suck at doing this, you do something else, right? Right? Or if the numbers look bad, which you can't help, you do another job, you do another occupation. Then the board of directors won't give a shit. Right? Because you fix the sales. Like, okay, I'll be honest, the sales looked bad. We don't have any new product ideas coming to launch, right? You definitely don't need a data analyst today, but I have another degree in sales. Can you want me to bounce in sales? That's what board of directors want, right? That's what they actually want. Because they'll say, hey, maybe I can help you in sales. Maybe I can come up with a new idea in the next launch. Because everyone knows. Everyone knows you can't always come up with some groundbreaking study, right? That's not a real thing. So what you do is you bounce to different jobs. Now that can't do that because when you're a data analyst, when you're paid $90,000 a year, you're not supposed to do 3 bachelor's jobs, right? The moment you're playing about, it's like fuck that, right? You're supposed to be a data analyst, right? You're not supposed to do 3 or 4 different jobs. But the reality is that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you did back then. There was no school to teach you that shit. You had to learn how to do 4 bachelor's jobs. It was turtles all the way fucking down. Back in the days of like, I don't know, J. Edgar Hoover, right? I don't have the video. It's funny as fuck. Right? People just bullshit. There's just a lot of jobs. They don't look like they should exist. And there's a reason why, because people used to lie, right? They used to say, so a lot of these jobs are basically like maybe like another variant of another job. Like data science is another variant of computer programming, right? Right? And actuarial science is like another variant of computer programming in a sense, right? There's a lot of case. There's a case. They're very similar. The data scientist, if you don't have the data and you want to lie about it, that's fine. To keep your job. But if you tell the truth, right? You're expected to do more. Honestly, I probably would just quit. Because if I couldn't fucking get a data table quick enough, why would I bother? Right? The money is there if you can do it. I would never complain if I can do that part. My complaint is I don't fit in any system where I can get an immediate cash job and make cash. At least I don't have any support. People want immediate cash flow jobs. That's why people go to college, right? The expectation is there, but the reality is that's not actually exist in the free market, right? That's just a welfare subsidy, arguably funded by the rich. And it was dependent on the economic circumstances, right? Oh, it looks like the Pleiades star cluster. So okay, there's stories about how the star constellations, to add some context, not just them, basically just gave these guarantees because it was too much fucking work bouncing. But so you have to talk to them. So who you have to talk to fix it? You have to talk to maybe the constellations, right? You have to talk to those people who actually bounce between 50 different jobs, right? Right? Because you guys are weak compared to now. Like, now you're like fucking weak compared to back then, the 20s. Well, you just complain about a bunch of shit these days, right? The business owner used to be like, I used to do like 10 fucking different occupations. Right? I used to learn fast and jump, right? I used to not have a guaranteed $8 an hour, right? Does anyone want to talk about that? They used to beg to the stars to get help, to get superpowers, right? Like, this shit was real. So people are like, well, the economy sucks, right? And it's like, well, yeah, it does suck, but I'm okay with complaining, because I love complaining, because what the fuck else do I have left? At least I'm realistic enough to know it doesn't get you anywhere. Now, if people can teach me some, like, employable skills other than warehouse work, just bump up, I'm like, I love it. Something legitimate. I die for it. Right? It's not fucking real. There's nothing fucking real about the arts. Because it's like, what? You have to do arts, yeah. Arts is just a painful reminder that nothing is paid. Nothing is guaranteed. In general, right? When all the dominoes fall. There is no immediate cash flow, really. Bill Gates, his Microsoft, almost bankrupt. He's going to pay you $100K a year, really? That's not real. That ain't real. You fool a dog, right? Kanye West going to pay you? Look at Kanye West. You saw his Twitter feed? Oh my God. Right? This is the one problem I fucking hate about, like, society in general, not just Americans. No one wants to be honest about half this shit. No one wants to. Look at this shit. Sing the blues, Kanye. That's exactly. You're a CEO. You wear this, okay? I like, when I see HR, like, people complaining, I thought they would, like, be legitimate. I thought they were in on the game, like, they just complain, right? Just LARP on the internet. Now I realize, no, they're not playing or serious about jack shit. People like Kanye used to do programming, plus YouTubing, plus like 50 other jobs, right? Because you couldn't afford a worker. That's reality. So, like, when I see a lot of these, like, liberals complain about this stuff, right? I'm sorry, SJWs. I'm an SJW, but you have to roast your own side. This is not a legitimate complaint. If you want to hustle like Anita, you have to jump between multiple different fucking jobs. That's what it means to be free and independent for even a guy. So if you tell the truth, you just get labeled as schizophrenic. It's true. So as a programmer, they hate you, right? They want you to bounce between different jobs. No, they do. Jeff Bezos, I'm sure he's done more than one occupation. You think Amazon just fucking started like, oh yeah, I paid everyone individually. Oh yeah, what about Jeff's untold history about, like, his R&D sales operations with his parents before it became an official corporation? Right? Does Jeff talk about that? Does Mark Zuckerberg talk about that? I don't know about Zuckerberg these days, but you know. No one is talking to you about it. It's just all bullshit. Right? So, Bill, did he do one occupation? Just programming? Like, people just assume I just have to do one occupation, right? So, numbers always look bad. Right? That's the reality. So, why do people think data science doesn't actually have any employment, to be honest? Because they've always known. So, you ever wonder, you see those corporate complaints, right? I'll be plain about it since you guys aren't paying me off. There's really no need for data science these days. No, there never fucking was. So why do you think they complain about this stupid shit about, like, oh, your data tables aren't formally calibrated, right? They're not giving you flexible deadlines, right? Right? They're not complaining about it. If the fact they're not complaining about it means data is not making money. Data is not selling. You can say, well, I'm not sure I agree with that. I'll tell you why data is not selling. Because you aren't coming up with the latest invention, right? So it's about how to use the data. That's why it's not selling. Your question is not about so when you're talking about, like, sales numbers they generated from data science, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like 50% increase in profits or whatever. Right? If you sell 5,000 units or whatever, I did this case study or something. So what are they talking about? They're talking about using the data. How can I use the previous month's data to help me make money? Because I can't fucking figure it out. That's the indirect way of saying it. They're all asking you how to use the data. So that's the side. I don't actually need a data scientist. I needed him for 2 years. And I just need to figure out how to reuse my 2 years old, my older data for something better. So in that sense, big data is useless. So at least in the sense that you have to hire another data scientist, if that makes sense. Yeah, Google doesn't know how to fucking use their data optimally. I literally did a case documentary. So you see Google, they always ream their data analysts, right? They don't fucking know why their sales numbers aren't positive, right? So they lie. Well, I'm telling you why. Because they don't understand their own data for conversion rates. So anytime you're asking for a positive sales number, all you're asking for is to fire that data analyst and to basically look over the previous data. So big data is still relevant, right? You don't have to change your fucking view on that topic. What the issue is you don't know how to use that data that you had before to actually make sales. And then when you study that data, you're not actually getting positive sales, because the truth for how many sales you make has to come out somewhere, right? It's just an indirect way that you're not aware of, because you can't like fire data scientists. So like I kind of wanted to play the bullshit system. Yeah, if you have to fib your data like that, which people do, right? You're running low on deadlines, you got to settle for a shittier version of a spreadsheet. The moment you have to, actually are comparing shittier versions of spreadsheets instead of being human, that's a good sign that we don't need data scientists. Now, it's true. Now, you still need big data. You just reuse it, right? You just have the salespeople gather it. They can gather data. Who fucking cares? Now, data is useful. Don't get me wrong. I'm just telling you. People don't know how to use their previous year's data in any substantial way. That's all they want. They want a conversation on that. You're a data analyst. You're not telling people how to substantially use their data in like a marketable, testable way. You know what you do? You just tell people, you just fart out conclusions. That's basically all you do. You just come with hypothesis, but you're not like narrowing it down in an easy, scalable way so a company can make money off of it. You know what I mean? And that requires someone with sales skills. And now you might be an asshole, right? If your bill's like, might as well just go on Microsoft Teams at this point. Or if you're a CEO. Might as well just grill and chill. I'm firing you, right? No, I'm sorry. I like profiting off data science, right? But I can't go in now. If I go in, I wouldn't have said anything. No, people are taking too many things for granted. You're lucky you have a job that actually pays you a fixed income. That's not real. That's not a real thing. Seriously, go back to the 20s. Look for any jobs with fixed salary. It's not a real thing. Sure, there's an average, right? Don't get me wrong, but there's no fixed salary like, oh yeah, I could definitively say on this job description you can make 50 grand a year, right? The economy was always in turmoil. That's not a thing. Now you can get an average out of it. That's not negative, but none of this shit's real. Ever wonder why Social Security doesn't work and they just keep kicking the can on their own? It's like the same reason. People need to stop pretending like you have look on Glassdoor should be a waste of time, right? Glassdoor's salary thing should be fiction. People are the fact you even have Glassdoor is a luxury in of itself. Like that, like the need to fulfill that need of like, I have a fixed income. Right? Know your worth is a luxury. Having a salary is a luxury, dude. Because the joke is when everyone's their own business owner, right? There was no salary. Sure, you got pay. None of Bill's parents wanted to tell him that, right? None of Jeff's parents, none of Sundir's parents wanted to say that. Do you know how shameful that is? To live in a bleak future where you're like worshiping star deities to like make sure your business succeeds. Because that's what you fucking do, right? Like, that is what you do. You just worship a deity hoping your business succeeds. I'm not saying it's not what happens. It might not, right? But my guess is back then, yeah. And honestly, if you had to start your own business, I would fucking do it too. I don't care if I'm an atheist. I need something to keep me psychologically comfortable. Who cares if it's Cthulhu, right? Who cares if it's a Greek god? Now it gets messed up on a side note is the only regulation way to get in a relationship with the Greek gods if you live alone. And it doesn't matter if you're broke. You just have to live alone and be in a dangerous situation where you're starting a business. It's not sustainable. Otherwise known as a globalist. Yeah, it's just if you were living with your parents, there's no way you can be in a relationship with any of those creepy things. So this is a luxury. This is all fake news, right? This is not. So the problem you have with the economy is you're under the assumption that that a salary actually exists. The concept of salary exists in the free market. It really does not. I'm sorry. As an SJW, I'm keeping this fucking real. Be glad there's a salary. I'm not saying you shouldn't bitch, right? But you should bitch strategically. So CEOs, you don't have a fixed salary. Where the fuck is that? What fixed salary, right? I'm hungry on some days, right? I'm sorry. The bitch deserved to complain too. The rich, sorry. All right, I'm trying to sort my words because like I'm a poor guy. I remember I like remind this is their. They sometimes they remind the rich as the bitch because they're angry. Now you're never paid enough, right? Right. No, it's not real, okay? That's why jobs are fading. That's why you can't, like, walk into a door and get it. Now, the other reason why you can walk into a door, like my dad said back then, is because people actually did door-to-door sales, right? Like, like I said, when the business owner, like, when you got hired by someone, the implied promise is you gave them, a business, right? You protected them. You gave them cash. Yeah, like you gave them insurance, like you promised you would hire them later on. My dad never talks about that because his ancestors bitched it, like bullshitted him too. That's why I don't trust advice in general. There's always a context you're missing. Right? If you promise to save them from death after you get promoted, right? If you have a legitimate promise, right? Why the fuck wouldn't you move them up? Like give them their own nest egg. That's why back then you can just walk and get a job. That's why it worked, right? Because they're like, okay, I know this guy, right? It was a small town, right? So the USA is not a big city USA, it was small town USA. You knew, right? Hey, I got your back from because I know that you from you're a 5th degree LinkedIn connection, right? That was like the Freemasons round. Like there's 33 degrees of connections or whatever, right? Okay, I knew you this far back from this guy, from this who talked to me about this guy, right? Or from like 5 friends down or wherever the hell that means, right? Therefore, I can give you a job if you walk by. You don't have that anymore. That's not a thing. That's why the advice from the boomers is bullshit. Because that social system doesn't exist. You all voted for leftism, right? Or like both movements went more left than they did in the past, regardless of what side you're on. That's why that worked. Because we had a more kind and caring society. So not just the rich, but like the poor. So what happens when you take away kindness is you don't get those kind of perks anymore. Now, if you want to dick around with your cell phones and TikTok, go ahead. I don't care. But that cell phone is the reason why you don't have any of those goodies. You might as well just opt out for VR at this point, you guys. I don't think you're going back. No, they don't. A lot of the older people don't know what the fuck's going on back then either. People like to say that because they want to be lazy. They all want to be lazy. There is no money. It's just drying up. Look, I'm sorry as a billionaire. You're here to give poor people money so they can shut the fuck up and stop throwing stones in your mansion. That's all the college system's built on. Look, it made your life easier at one point. I don't know about now. I'll be real honest. Celebrities, you're basically the college's ATM machine, right? You're their piggy bank. Might as well sing the blues with that Kanye Twitter ninja blue vest thing, right? No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're all meant to be their piggy banks. Well, in return, the assumption is you make money, right? Kanye, you voted. Congratulations. Who knows if it's real? He could have been virtue signaling. That doesn't sound like he voted. I think that's the joke. He didn't vote. I think he was waiting for people to figure that out. I think they were cleaning on the joke. Right? This is called bullshit. Bullshit mountain for Kanye. This is, meanwhile, oh yeah, I really believe. No, I'm sorry. Look, Rich, you're so college is predicated now at this point because they all want a job, right? So if you're rich, I don't even know who's listening to this because it looks like it seems like people are reading all my stuff. No, you're rich, right? You're like celebrity like Kim. Hey Kim, I'm a rich ass fag billionaire. Right? I'm graduating alumni. Colleges don't say, I want money, I want all of your money directly, right? They're just like, well, these college graduates want to work for you, Kim, someday. That's how it all starts, guys. So too for Mr. Barack Hussein Obama. I mean, Barack Obama. So too for Donald Trump. That's what it is for the school board. No, it is, because it's all fixed income, right? No one wants to carry any real business risk for you. That might have been slightable back then, but like now, I'm not sure. No, people don't understand this. So they keep complaining. You corner me, right? Now I'm going to tell the truth about this topic. Same goes for the dating thing. Billionaires, there's a lot of... I know a lot of people in MGTOW, they just like to believe... They like to all believe that there are no liberals who would ever date them that would integrate, but the ones you are looking for are all the crazy ones that no liberal wants to be around with. They're the crazy, like, Medusa Cthulhu chicks. They'd be like, well, no guy really wants me when they get to know me better. Not even the simps. The SJWs would be like, I'm more like SDW because I look at my SD card, right? You know, that chick, you know, she's cool, right? But like when you get to know her better, you feel like there's like termites crawling out of your eyes. I think she needs to see a psychologist on some days. You know, it's just tough work. I think you and Tucker are a good fit. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go with her, right? She's hot, but like, you know her better. And it's like, you know, I think, did she kill her last boyfriend? You know, you see them. It's like, he's a good leader. I don't deny that part. Right? And you're like, oh, this girl, Cindy, right? She, I fucking don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's real or not. I have such a bad memory, but I think she used to work for one of those real estate firms. She's one of those billionaires you don't even want to fucking talk about anymore. She's like to burn shit to cinders, right? But she's pissed off. Oh yeah, as conservative, right? You looking for a traditional woman, right? In this left-wing world, she's game. Right? Is this what you wanted? You'll never falsely accuse you of rape because all the other guys want to run away. Oh, she'll become right-wing guest for you. That's how this game works, you guys. No one agrees based on politics. It's not a real thing. No, it's like, well, hey, you want to get the gold, you might as well slay the dragon Jordan Peterson style, right? That's what the dragon is. Maybe they read your mind 24/7 with, like, bugs. I don't know. Yeah, go ask the rich. They'll probably shut the fuck up about this topic. They're like, huh? Bill, you met some crazy chicks who try to mind read you with Yu-Gi-Oh cards? No. What? I don't remember whatsoever. Obama? Oh, no, I don't remember. I didn't see them in bingo night. They'll feel bad and they'll run away. You know, there's crazy ones. I just want to feel like I belong. I'm going to do some yoga. Some of them probably went with PewDiePie. He wanted to be his own king, right? You saw that Sweden video he had? I'm gonna leave because I have like so many. So for context, I'm actually gonna do some writing. PewDiePie wants to be his own king. So you need the crazy chicks that the right wing that are all for the right? They give you money, right? Because they have to be desperate simps to get any chicks. I mean girls, sorry. Well, they might be bi, right? They might be desperate enough. You know, they make the plea too. You all like, I want to ignore this. Let me get my headphones. You Silicon Valley tech firm. You're like, huh? Well, that was cool. Yeah. No, have a nice day. Senior just does that little pink polo shirt walk. Just runs away. You know they real. They all real. You know, to make that CEO nice, you just fuck them. I was sure I can give you a pay raise, you just gotta fuck me. You all know. Hey, right? Bezos here. I don't want any of that chick's pussy. Do you right wing individual want that pussy? You go for it. You go get that sauce. Get that cheddar. That's what the right wingers are like. Bezos can totally hook you up with those chicks. If you say I'm looking for a liberal who has right wing values, that's different. But if you say I'm looking for a liberal who's a chameleon, oh, they have all the answers in the world. Just give them like $5,000. Hey, Bezos here. I got some friends you can meet up with. They can morph. Like Morpheus from the Matrix, because you're asking for a chameleon right now. I want a loyal chameleon. You know, they know them. They all know them. Don't pretend like Tim Pool does too. Right? When Tim Pool breaks up with them, he says, "You're Tim Fool now," right? Tim fucked, right? He knows. He's not stupid. Maybe some of them made his hair bald because he pissed them off by breaking up with them. I might explain everything, by the way, Tim Pool. Just date some crazy chicks, right? Maybe you had to get an LSD little experiment with the chicks because you're broke, right? Maybe the chick bailed you out, right? You gotta fuck me in return, Tim Pool. Tim Pool, you hot. You a rebel journalist for Vice News, ex-rebel journalist. Yeah, they're like those chicks. You know what they also do? They're hypocrites with the Second Amendment. They're liberals, right? They do yoga, right? None of the liberals like them. That's the joke. Right? And they never clue them in because, like, well, you look desperate. There's always a bunch of those rich chicks. You know it's true. Don't pretend like they don't exist. Anita doesn't want to talk about them. There's so much shame in the air, right? Young Turks knows. That's like Chen Guger's like, yeah, I'm open to, in private, I'm open to dating someone with a different, I don't need them to agree with me to be in a relationship. You see enough of them like, Because I have other considerations. What does the chick do? Break up with you. Suddenly I'm pro Second Amendment. Can I get my AK-47? I'm so angry. That's the type of stuff Louis C.K. is like, fuck that. You think liberal Hollywood doesn't have chameleons? You're like, I was right-wing for you, but then you broke up with me. You said I was crazy chick that burned your house. Time to practice my Second Amendment rights, motherfucker. That's life. Oh no, it's real. It all starts with yoga. Then they snap after the yoga session when they realize you broke up with them. I'm here to drink my chai latte. Let's listen to some relaxing yoga music. I'm gonna show you. There's a moment when they snap. It's like plate yogurt. Because it's a girl. Fast growth. I don't have any fucking fast growth. Jeffrey Bezos, that sounds about right. Jeff's probably laughing in his grave right now. Amazon's grave. Dude, seriously, you're hiring data analysts. Your bigger question is how to use your previous year's data, right? The data analysts should be coming up with ideas, shouldn't they? They should be helping the marketing team at least. I wouldn't fucking care. If you ever hire me as a data analyst, fuck that. I'll accept any dock and pay. And as long as I can move out, right? No, seriously, like your goal is to use data, not gather more data at this point. Gather data, please, right? But like your main goal, what you're mainly complaining about is how to use your data to actually make money. What's the point of having data sit there if you can't use it? That's what marketing is. How to use shit. So why does Amazon care about the arts? Because arts is advertisements. You can make sales. So Jeff has a good feeling about this. But the thing is, there's so much bullshit now. What's the good and the bad advice, right? He's got no filter. He just looks at it as like, oh, so my guess is Jeff doesn't think twice about spending money. That's what I bet's going on. Oh, that yoga girl's ass look hot. Let me go spend $500, right? I'm always like, I really have to think about this right now. So if you want an artist star, just get someone, stick them in retail. There's your fixed income. Live with their parents, right? Abusive family, CPS, right? Get them at age 10. That's how it legitimately works. Don't have to go to school. Fuck that. You do free marketing. 10 or 30 years. You're not stupid. Of course you give them a job. Community helps them out. In return, Amazon sets up a facility there. There you go. Problem solved. That's how an artist star is made. Does that make you feel depressed now? Yes, it does. But a company needs that right now. You're a star! No, you do! I'm sorry! The reality is, what you're really complaining about is the fact that none of your data analysts are doing any work. That's really what it is. You're really talking about advertising. You need a marketing team. You need a writer? Yes. You need a commercial guy. Write a good novel? Yes. Novels can be used to sell shit. You sell merch. But your problem is you need someone to replace Hollywood. That's it. That's your complaint. Look, that's the problem. No one's honest about what they're actually doing in their job. No one's honest about the results it's producing. So it's the corporate board meeting. You're okay with it. You just want to be fed bullshit. And that's fine. But now we're talking the world of marketing. Now, marketing's difficult too, right? It's hard to get good sales numbers. That's what I'm having with any job that gives me like fixed salary. I don't care if the boss yells at me. Because I know I'm not going to deliver promising results one day or the other. Like some people can hustle door-to-door sales, right? You want someone who can effectively door-to-door sales in the modern digital age, right? They want to do e-door-to-door sales, otherwise known as email marketing. That's who you're really looking for in an artist. Email marketing is hell. Ask any Amazon seller. This is just like, and the funny part is in the dating world, you need to do that too. So if you can't find the hot chicks, you go for the super crazy one no one wants to be around with, right? Who wants to be everything you want, just be like Morpheus, right? Or like a chameleon. Just an android that morphs. Oh, of course they're going to send some wasp and stick it up your ass if you break up with them. No fucking shit. You just prepare for that. Conservative, right? You want that golden girl? Golden Valley girl? You can go to Hollywood and find one. Go for it. Plenty of liberals you can pay off. Like, I know that chick. Yeah, she can morph. Is that your ideology? Like, well, I never really thought of it that way, but yeah, I know some people like that. When you put it that way. Of course you can. And there's plenty of SJWs. They have friends. They probably have crazy hot SJWs like that. It's like, I actually don't want to affiliate with her. When we really boil down to it. Really hot chicks, loyal. No guarantee if they stab your dick, senpai. That's those type of girls. I'm sorry. There's plenty of billionaires who just pay them. They'll find them for you. Out of pity. Not Bill, but he'll refer you to somewhere. Or a psychiatrist. Probably not. Yeah, no need for TikTok. There you go. That's your goal is to tame them. Yes, you can tame them if you give them their cheddar. Right? You give them their constant 24/7. If you hug them 24/7, yeah, they'll be loyal, right? Loyalty is not a real thing, by the way. Obligation is. By the way, that is not a fucking real thing. See, people just lie to each other too much. Yeah, obligation is like you owe someone based on a transaction. That's stronger than loyalty. Ever wonder why loyalty is dead? Because it never existed. Do you want to know why? Because the older generation lied to your ass back then. Right? The strong feeling, it's just a feeling. So what's obligation? A feeling is not a real thing in the real world, right? You know what I mean? You should not use a feeling to make a decision. They're legally bound. Your duty, you have a duty, you have a commitment. So a lot of old people like to say loyalty because it makes them feel good. It helps them morally jack off. Rockefeller too jacked off it. Loyal to the cause, right? Actually, before loyalty, there's obligation. You're obligated due to my death oath that I got from Oblivion. Here you go. Here's my magic spell. Boom. Oh yeah, we met. Yeah. You made some dumbass decisions. You want to sign a death oath? I'll have a marriage. I can have a relationship with you. You're not going to do any fucking work for me. I'll turn you into my little magic zombie slave. Yeah, Isaac Newton got a little alchemy, right? I'll turn you into a homunculus. Here you go, motherfucker. I don't want to date you, but you keep chasing my ass. Yeah, we can be married. Fuck, I can't kill her. She's actually a vampire. I can turn you into my slave. I want to be your slave, senpai. That's real life, by the way. Right? Remember that Yandir thing that Yandir chick in Japan who's like they think is an energy vampire? There you go. It's real life, you guys. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with these fixed income jobs. Like, a lot of these other jobs for me are like, the other jobs like mining and stuff, there's no actual guarantee. It's dangerous as fuck. But I pray I can move out someday. Because like this is the best I could do. No one wants the truth. Everyone wants the lies. Look at the fake news. Here's the fake news we got. Fake news is this is useful to the real world. Here's fake news. I don't need to learn this whole thing. I might be a dumbass. The main reason I don't watch videos is because... Oh, they're going to fight hiring them now? So that's what it's like to be a software engineer, right? This is the reality of what a software engineer, like the economic reality. Be lucky. You're a lion, right? You just smash pie in their face. Honestly, there always need programmers. Now, I don't know how much they're going to be worth, but... So, here's the thing. If you sell an idea, you don't make money, right? You just talk. That doesn't fucking mean anything. I don't have any writer's block, really. At least I hope not. Now, the quality of the idea, that's a different story. So here's the problem. You can fastly grow. Some people are good people talkers. They know how to game the algorithm. But even then, you don't know if that makes money for your company. There's so many questions, right? So they don't hire the thinker in their company. So if you're a philosophy major like me, this is what I'm doing right now. I'm a philosophy major. I'm selling you advice. I'm saying you should be thinking about this instead of thinking about the data, how to use the data, because that translates to better sales. Right? You give me a data set, you show me a data analyst, and I'll show you a philosopher that can do data analyst work for free using previous year's data. and generate revenue for your company. Because a lot of data analyst work is just fiction. Why do you think there's performance reviews? That's why I keep telling you, it's just all fiction. But you still have to hire them maybe to get the government welfare checks, right? That's why job recruiters hire them. It's just to keep the paperwork steady. Doesn't make the job recruiter look good. They're trying to make sure the rich get their government bailouts, right? Because if you don't hire a certain amount of people, right, how are you going to get those government checks? See? So if you're a billionaire, you know that. It's like, well, you're stuck in a rough place. You got to fill up headcount somehow. Can you lie on your paper? Maybe. Maybe Joe Biden will allow you, but it doesn't make it clean. The job recruiters are just trying to make this cleaner. Because job recruiters used to help the rich dodge financial loopholes in the past. Directly. Everything's shifty, by the way. Does this mean anything? Honestly, if you learn fast, you should be able to survive fine. As for me, no, I fucking can't. That's not a good sign, I'm telling the truth. So, the problem I have with a lot of engineers, the problem I have with today's society is you know this, right? Are you going to take action? You just get lazier because you get more depressed. So I'm like, what the fuck? So now you can't get any jobs where you can walk door to door. I just told you an easy fix, right? You don't have to change anything about yourself other than procrastinating. Now, Bill Pulte, he's doing something, right? Okay, it's a scam, but it's still something, right? At least some of the poor are getting jobs, getting housing. Seriously, so here's how the scam works. The scam is basically, if you look at it, it's like, I fucking forgot what the name is. But so here's how the scam. So he's for those who don't know, Bill Pulte is doing urban housing, right? There's just so much bullshit these days. It's okay. He sells himself as a philanthropist, right? But it's a scam, an arguable scam in the sense that, okay, for every poor person that goes there, there needs to be like 5 rich people who buy their apartments, right? They're getting some bailout from the government. Nice tax break. Yeah, you can actually. So their welfare stamps, they may not say it, are actually shorted. That's my suspicion. I've seen this scam before. Yeah, his stamps are shorted. A lot of things are shorted. He keeps it to himself. Right? He's the philanthropist, right? In the same way you're a charity organization, you don't get taxed, right? No proof. He's a very clean guy. So technically, it's philanthropy. He's getting tax breaks for his other houses too, right? So he's taking the risk, right? Now, this is not as straightforward. He made a gambit, a very respectful gambit, that if he sells affordable housing, right, he can make more money if he can get the poor to leave as soon as possible, because then he can get tax breaks. So he's not actually kind to the poor. He intends to trap them into one of his companies. It's like a magic deal, right? Why can you not talk about this? Because my dad works in real estate, and I've seen shit like this when I sleep. Yeah, my dad's kind of one of those people who's like, well, you see that client, right? And you can't put your finger on it, but like every time you see that client, you dream and you see some weird shit. There's a magic contract in any of these, right? Yeah, they're trapped to the corporation. Well, it's a good deal all of a sudden, ain't it? Now, Bill Pulte's bet is the poor will be so well influenced by him, right, that they will make the exact choices that will place him in one of the corporations that he works for, that he's in charge of. Indirect influence, right, which Moloch does. Bill Pulte just wants to be the next Moloch. Right? He's helping people. Who cares, right? But it's slavery that helps him. And the joke is they don't work for any of the pay that's listed on Glassdoor. They won't know because they're stuck in the hypnosis. He's smiling too. Hey, it's philanthropy. You can't blame me. You can't blame him. Sustainable. Is it scummy? He's lying about it? Maybe. You can argue that if you want. I don't care. I'm here to game the system too, by the way. You can stay out if you're a rich billionaire for some company. Like, hey, can I join in your scam bill, Bolte? Because you're like, some people might say, no thanks. He's never going to get caught. That's the joke. And you're all forced on Twitter to like him forever and ever. Because you can never prove it. Look at that. 400, you guys. You tried to criticize him. He'll just censor you. Milpote, you huckster. Right? Adopt a teammate. You see that? He does have an adoption scheme. You see that shit? He's being real transparent with you indirectly about this topic. You think it's one thing. He's telling you another. He's actually telling you another thing. Yeah. Adopt a pet, right? You're their pet. You're his pet now. I'm just telling you this is real. Right? Krappa is Grandpa Polte. You're younger than me. I ain't your papa. Look at that. But I am your friend. That's how it starts. You call him Papa Polte later. No, this works all the time. No, it's like there's no direct proof, of course. Now, Bill gives you some hints that he also can entrap Instagram influencers. She's not one of them, by the way. I think that's Brittany. I don't think she counts. Get some free sex slaves too, maybe. That might not even be a stretch. Anyways, be thankful, right? You become a slave with the words, be thankful, be so grateful. You're ripe. And so when he says RIP to your free will, he says you're ripe for the picking. Why do you care? I would say, why do you care, right? You just game the system. It's messed up. Now, most people hear that's like, oh, fuck, I want to opt out of life right now. Anyways, this is, I want to see what this is. Jeff, there you go. Jeff, what's up, buddy? I feel like PewDiePie and Jeff Bezos would be best friends.
Octagonal prisms. The square root of 3, 7.
Oh, is that Bezos' own business?
Let's talk about the Bezos Curiosity Box.
You see what I'm talking about? So this ad shows you that you might as well just advertise your own merch. You're not even helping your sponsors. You know what YouTube's designed for? It's designed for YouTubers who want to start their own business. And it's not designed for sponsors to make money. So if you want to know why I started doing the arts, it's an A/B testing system. So it's expensive as fuck to start an Amazon business, right? Or any business, right? Let's look at a business loan cost. I don't have the fucking cash. I'm not doing it, right? Because you don't even know if you can get the customers, right? Because you need engagement first. 2 mil, fuck that, right? 500K? You can't do that. So you have to small scale the business somehow, right? So what's the best way? You need to build engagement. How do you build engagement? Well, you got to go, so that's what social media is for. It's your way to get a free clientele list. That's the whole goal. You need to be able to filter between those social media followers and figure out where from that small subsite is your clientele list. Right, that's the whole goal. So you as an advertiser don't even know if any of these, right? Because you skip step one, which is, can you find out if any of these subscribers are your clientele? You just assume because they're cool, right? The YouTuber's cool. It's like, well, he'll give me money. No, it doesn't work like that. Like, look how long it took me to get like one view on my YouTube video. See, that took forever, right? So if you know that, that's how long it takes to get a customer, even with like 500K subscribers, right? So there's a lag time of trying to figure out which subscriber actually buys your stuff. And then there's the question of, does that subscriber feel more turned off, right? You have to decide whether the content you're advertising is related, right? Like I said before. Right? So it's useful to start your own business. It's very useful. Like Bezos had his curiosity box, right? Very useful. Start your own business. Build your clientele list. Your subscribers are your clients, right? They feel personally connected to you. Like emotionally speaking, right? Well, why else would you spend money? You want to support your YouTuber. That's the only reason. There's no other reason. Now, if it's related to the content, different story. And you want to form a business partnership with them, different story. Let's look at this. So, what you then do is if people who subscribe to PewDiePie subscribe to Vsauce, you just go send this ad here. This does not work for advertisers, by the way. No, it fucking doesn't. No, because you don't know if some of these YouTubers they subscribe to smeared you guys. You really have to pay attention to this stuff. You can't just say, hey, I'm going to throw money, right? And you have to see if any of their content, right? Because it's anti the moment it doesn't like fully promote your product, right? Because it pisses people off. Trust me, it really does. Unless it's food, because you're always feeling hunger. So if I was a data analyst and I want to tell the truth, I would say, hey, why don't we do a slower reshelving of the sales team, right? Sales gathering team, if you wanted to keep your job. Which is, it's over if I already told you this. I would do is reshelve your sales strategy. Go ask the YouTuber some questions, see if what exact content they're covering. And if it's food, right, your ROI should go up like 50 to 100, like 2 to 3 times your engagement, right? People want to eat food all the time. So convince them to start their own food business, selling your stuff. That's how you game the system. That's just my 2 cents. And then that business, which doesn't succeed as well, could be bought off by you could use that trade as an opportunity to buy the YouTuber off with business infrastructure by the corporation, right? That's way better than what you got now. You just throw money at random ads. Of course, PewDiePie. I always like PewDiePie because he seems to have the no offense, the dumb followers. Actually, in SJW, you probably feel that. Maybe he has the dumb billionaires who just spend money like crazy. PewDiePie's got his own little cult. Right? So the king of Sweden, like you saw that Sweden video, he's got his own king, he's his own chancellorship, right? He's a king, he's got concubines. I know. I'm just saying PewDiePie would get the crazy chicks, get some cash. Thought it was a good idea. Just like them. Just waste money. They're good at wasting money. I always thought you like to think billionaires are smart, right? Like they all are, but not really. They have vices too. People just spend on dumb shit all the time. So, remember, oh, God. Let's go look up Kanye West. No offense, dude. You got traumatized by the public and you just spend your money on pretty stupid stuff. Let's look at some gaffes. 2 layers of tights. They all do really stupid shit. So when I'm talking about the dumb billionaires, I'm talking about the ones who make they're not actually stupid, but they make impulsive decisions in terms of other categories of life. Maybe they spend money to have sex with PewDiePie. I don't know. Here's Posley and Gary stuff, form a cult. They're also chameleons, by the way. I'm actually a far left Cthulhu fan, but I'm pro centralist, central for you, centrist for you, PewDiePie. They just morph. As a billionaire, you're like Sasuga Desuga PewDiePie. More or less, right? Most of the guys are like, I know them better. I know they're just a scam. People do morph. I'm serious. People don't care. I'm cluing you into this game because I'm playing about it now. Why do you think people want to get abducted by the UFOs? I mean, morph. Yeah, you can't have it all. Are you willing to pay the crazy? Does that exist on both sides? Yeah, it does. Some billionaires are like, I'm into 4chan because my boyfriend's into it. I want to be dominated by a strong alpha male in his seed. You're like, well, that doesn't happen. Yes, it does happen. Yes, it does. It's most of the rich people like Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. They just be quiet about it. And of course, in their head, shut the fuck up. Don't say that, you guy. Everyone's fine. The crows are calling. Caw, caw. You actually think that the people you see on the news, those are the actual billionaires? There's billionaires we don't even want to talk about right now. Maybe even trillionaires. They're just all hiding. You just talk to them like, oh God, I need to drink some Jägermeister. They summon some snakes. Did that just crawl back into her eye? Just have a personal conversation with Jeff Bezos. He'll tell you it all. It's true. He suffers too. It's a hellscape for him.
From the Curiosity Box goes directly to Alzheimer's research. Don't miss your chance to get all of the breakthroughs.
So if you're Amazon, help a YouTuber start your own business. This is a sustainable strategy out, and then get your merch. You win either way. You probably might want to withdraw from YouTube at this point. Guys, I'm about to leave soon, but what's this? Dude, no programmer wants to go into the arts. That's like the dumbest thing I've heard. Oh, this sounds about right for Jeff Bezos and what's going on in his mind when he spends on like cannabis. Did that cannabis business venture? That was pretty much on his mind. That those memes? That's on Jeff Bezos' mindset. Yeah, Jeff, I'm pretty sure he doesn't use his, no offense for Jeff Bezos. He doesn't always use his thinking cap when he spends money. Shit. Because he is not surrounded by people who use their thinking cap like me. They will never call you out on it because they would never work for Amazon. They have too much ego. I am dignified, right? I am Matthew Norman Bates. I'd rather do other shit in my life. I'm here. I'm desperate. I'll call you out. You should not always just throw your money at the screen because you're desperate. If you're Jassy, don't. Just think about this right now. If anytime you're telling people to talk about marketing, like, oh, you need to inflate your sales numbers, right? You're really thinking of, can we reuse our previous resources a little bit better? You really just want a thinker, right? You don't have to hire a thinker for expensive. Just get someone straight out of college. Hey, I'll pay you tuna salad, right? Look over my data. You need to spitball some ideas. You're my water boy. Do I look like I give a fuck? You're my administrative assistant. You paid $8 an hour. Bye now, man. You paid fixed salary. Like, you work 5 hours every day. You gotta spend extra hours OT. No pay. Bye. Now, you can't complain too much for like 15, right? You know what I mean. Like, at $8, you can't bitch about this on Reddit. You get some benefits. Like actual health insurance. Like, at this moment, right? Jeff is not really using his thinking cap, right? It looks cool. Right? Your thinking cap needs to be used. Like, why do I spend $1 billion? No, just think about it. It's like, okay, well, we can spend $1 billion on this guy. Why do I want to spend $1 billion? I'll tell you why. Because he's the only one true. Now, you don't have to spend $1 billion. That's the joke, right? You can actually lowball me. This is just what I prefer you spend it on. No, you can actually have a price tag line. It's like, oh, cool. That's something worth spending money on. If you can't barter and negotiate, fuck that. Right? Anything between $1,000 to $1 billion, right? That's what you start with, as long as you have a price point, right? And if you do that, right, it's like you barter, like, I want to haggle with you on how much money because I personally feel invested in this idea. Then that is exactly where you need to go. Now, why do I say 1,000? Well, I want to say 1,000 for now, like this is negotiation. Because I'm not sure exactly how committed he is to this field, right? But I feel like if he can half-ass this way, then maybe he'll still produce some good results, right? That is exactly where you want to go. It's like, well, the numbers look good now. Right? You're okay with bad sales numbers as long as you don't have to spend any money in other categories, right? It's all relative. Right? You want to make a better sales number? How about I go without like sleep for a couple days, right? We have to be a little realistic here. Let's cut some money in the budget, right? To justify those low sales. That's fine. Who cares? It's always been like that when you run your own business. I'm sorry. Some days you can't eat. Like, Jeff's in a better place now. He's happy, right? But like, he was never that happy in the past. You have to give out a happy face. Do you want to depress angry Jeff Bezos? Do you want the hellscape laughter of Jeff Bezos? No, he's not always using his thinking cap, right? In the interviews, right? See, sometimes I feel like Jeff Bezos should have hired Alan Dershowitz for like some of his interviews. Just tutor him. It's worth the money, especially if you're interviewed by the congressional testimony. Way better cash, right? Doesn't that tank your stock? Fuck that. Just go hire Alan. Who cares? Yeah, teach him how to say the right things, right? Right? Maybe you can hire Rudy. Like, I need to plead the fifth. I have my rights. Just videotape it, Alex Jones style. Oh, that helps me evade the law. Hell yeah. Yeah, you don't go in there like unarmed, right? Just go there with a lawyer. Fuck that. Just go there with someone who knows how to dodge the media. Yeah, your analyst team wouldn't teach you that. Why? Because they have better things to do in their time than look this shit up. I don't. I always think of how to help the corporation so I can someday get my own clientele and start my business, right? Because CEO is the default job. It's not like I want to. I need to do it now. I can't move up anywhere. You know what I want to do? I want to be an oil rigger someday. But they might want some business experience on the side, right? Right? Maybe I can help him later on afterwards, right? This is a sad world we live in. You got to be a little nice here. Right? So your business partner is not going to be your best friend. He's not going to be a corporate ass kisser, right? He might, right? I'll be honest. I'll be a corporate ass kisser if I can, right? But if I'm going to be honest with you, I'll tell you, hey, look, you can fire me, buddy. I don't want to stay in a company that is operating on bogus, right? We can make this work for us, right? We can make sales numbers work for us. We can make this a profitable company. right? We can. I can go without pay, but if you're not going to change anything, fuck, just go away, just fire me. Right? We're just reusing data. We're better off reusing data because our sales aren't good this week, right? Right? It doesn't always justify warehouse work, right? Jeff just focuses on warehouse work because he doesn't know what's up, right? He's just not using his thinking cap. My thinking cap is always look at marketing. You want to know why? Because warehouse is always going to be taken over by politics. Your goal is just to pit people against each other. That's all the game of politics is. Office politics. That's all it is. You know better, right? You know it's going to get subverted. You know people bitch too much. You can't do anything about it. So look at what your next product is. Look at your next product launch. Pressure a lot of your warehouse people to start their own business, right? Be their own customers. And be really flexible in what schooling is, right? Maybe schooling is learning from the go while you start your business. No, seriously. You might want to start your own business when it fails. See, I'm still thinking, how do I want to do this? Because that's one of the reasons I started this, because the arts is one of the cheapest ways to start a business. You get your clientele, right? You're doing marketing. I'm selling myself as an individual to you, right? This is like an extended personal statement. All these YouTube videos are a personal statement about me. In the very same way, all these YouTube videos about PewDiePie are like a personal statement on his resume, right? PewDiePie. You don't need like job requirements for this. Anyways, I'm gonna look at this. So again, I like to criticize. He's not using his thinking. Hey, follow your passion. Follow your needs. I don't agree with the term follow your passion. That is a very counterproductive mindset. That's why you get one of the big reasons you get bullshit in the corporation. Right? I want to become a data analyst. That's not a data analyst you're looking for. Doesn't matter what requirements they meet. I need to become a data analyst. I'm willing to do it even without pay, right? I feel like I'm going to die if I don't work as a data analyst. That's who you want. That may not be someone who's going to pass your test the first time. See, Jeff's always talking about follow your passion, right? That is a bullshit quote. That is destructive as fuck. Do you want to know? So I'm going to tell you what we're talking about with the passion. We're talking about the dopamine system. Passion is a real thing, right? When you smoke when you do booze, follow your passion. Right? When you smoke cannabis, follow your passion. When you jack off, follow your passion. That's what those are real examples of follow your passion. So when Jeff Bezos, right, talks about, no offense, right, or any Silicon Valley billionaire talks about this is a very, he wants to hide now. Yeah, I think on some days, no offense, a lot of these billionaires just need to sleep and think about this more. Or get someone late and just pay me to let me filter what that guy told you. Think about this. Ponder. No one likes to ponder. You know what everyone likes to do? Look on Instagram and buy a hot chick off on eBay. Trust me, if you use your brain cap, you would freeze, right? You would freeze your purchases. You gotta think about this. Right? But Jeff needed to start Amazon. Right? Bill Gates needed to start Microsoft, right? That is why they succeed, because they make it work for them in the end. Now success to them, right? Now here's the trick to success. Your goals change. Now when your term becomes flexible, right? What a business is, right? Now I think I succeeded. Sure, I failed in my business, but I had a system, right? I used it as a resume to get me elsewhere. That's why it always succeeds no matter how many times you fail, right? If you fail enough, you get a W, right? Because your definition of winning changes. Now, I need to do this, right? The moment you say that, people will lie, right? You know they'll lie. Because look how much of this advice of follow your passion is spreading around the world. Right? You come from a family like, I want money, right? You need income security. I want that, right? I'll be the only one brash enough to admit it. Right? I want that $1 million mansion, right? What about I need? Do you want to know what happens if you say I need? Everyone goes quiet. Oh, fuck, shit, but those are the workers I actually need for my company? Oh, hell no. Right? I need a politician that does drug running for me, right? Right? That's a Dr. Phil episode. No one's going to do it. You want to know why? You know how many people are going to be pissed off at each other? Right? Oh, I'm sure you can follow passion, right? Oh, let's see if I don't know why. I always feel like people are watching me through the algorithm. I feel crazy. Huh? There used to be one with a couple of oh, they really are hiding. Huh? My guess. I guess they want to not talk about passion. Okay, that's the right term to say. Sorry. Actually, this is the same as saying following your passion. So here's what this guy gets wrong. This is not a sustainable system. Mike Rowe is talking about wanting something. That's technically still passion, by the way. He's just making a case for you redefining your passion in terms of money. I want money, right? I'm passionate about getting a job that pays me cash. I wish I got a fucking remote job, intelligent enough, get paid, move out. You know, every time I see these remote jobs, I always drool. So, I want to tell the dirty truth, he's talking about passion too. The passion of money. Now, what you need to talk about is need. Micro, you need to talk about, I need you to do this. You need to find a job where you feel like you need to do this. This is the same bullshit video. There's no debunking, by the way.
Making a living, it's easy to forget the dirty truth. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't.
Now, I recommend if you're a sympathetic rich billionaire that PewDiePie dated once, please don't. Please don't force programmers to say, you need to do this. That's terrible. Horrible. You need to have some pity. You're a simp for Pewds. You should be a simp for the job applicants. Why? Because colleges want the rich to be simp for the job applicants. I'm sorry. That's the worst terms to use, but I don't know how else to describe it. You agreed to some extent because you got what you wanted. Now the system's kind of dead already.
Dream jobs are usually just that, dreams. But their imaginary existence just might keep you from exploring careers that offer a legitimate.
You give me a coffee session with Mike Rowe. I'll change his mind on this, I think. This is the same as passion. He's talking about cash. So most people don't know what their actual passion is. Their actual passion is money, right? I want that Lamborghini, right? So the guy with the big dick is the one you assume to have a Lamborghini. I'm sorry. This is reality. This is the ugly truth that Jeff Bezos, right, never wanted to hear. Anyways, YouTube kind of sucks. The API sucks. If you want to recommend people to be an artist, I would... Oh, fuck. Warehouse technician. And by the way, I saw the box with the arts, like some Imperial Art Direct or something. I have a feeling I have to do the arts. That might be the sign from the universe. It's indirect, though. I sure wish I could get money. So here's the problem I have with like a lot of these people. I really like, look at this shit. So they followed opportunities. What does that fucking mean? Opportunity is everywhere. What does that fucking mean? You see a wife having a divorce settlement breakup with her husband? You can steal that wife from the husband with the right emotional verbalage, right? What does that fucking mean? It doesn't fucking mean anything. Yeah, you say the right words, right key words, like the wife's in a low emotional state. You just say, hey, you know about the wife well. You can do this to anyone. Now here's the trick to solving the women's problems and being that cuck simp, right? You don't blatantly say you're trying to solve their problems. What you do is you puff your chest and you put on an emotional temper tantrum show. You gotta sigil, you gotta do it visually first. This is the stuff simps don't want to tell you because of how brutal it is. They used to do this all the time, 101. You can always get a cheater to go fuck you the next day. I'm serious right now. Buy them like some booze. They used to, I don't know if it's true, but I used to know some old grannies. They used to tell me this wives' tale that they're like, oh fuck, they're dead already, by the way. They just don't want to talk about it anymore. Why do you think hypergamy was like a big thing? They buy some booze, it's like, hey, cheer up. And okay, what they do is, they don't chain them. So what they do is, hey, look, they're in an emotional state. Hey, look, I really feel bad for you. I want to help you find a job. I'm not expecting anything from you, but it's implied you gotta sleep and fuck with me. Yeah, people do this. Warlords used to do this back then. Did they give a fuck? No, it was an open system. That's the trick. That would do it. And if it was not a dumbass warlord, they get to stay with them for life because it's like, oh, well, if they go back for the 5th time, they go back to you. It's like, well, I can go back, but you need to like become my slave. There's your loyal life. There's your loyalty. Your feeling. It's called an obligation, by the way. You start with, you feel you're obligated. Then we get to the loyalty stage later. All this happens all the time. The only culture that's plain about it are the Asians. Everyone else, not even close. That was our past. That's the opportunities to have sex everywhere. Sex in the city, right, guys? Let's go. Let's look at good careers. So your passion is finding good careers.
Good careers.
Your passion.
I mean, what? I struggled.
So your passion is being a handyman, right? So I'm going to tell you another thing. That handyman trope about handyman people getting sex, that was a real thing back then. Right? It only worked if you're a businessman, jack of all trades. Same thing. That's what it meant. Right? They fuck the CEO to feel better. Very high chance they fuck, right? I'm sorry. You give them booze. Why the fuck wouldn't you? Now, if you own the entire city and you have magic, right? You break up, like there's a magic number. It's like you break up 5 times. Because you ever wonder why people believe in magic? That's why. They could get free sex, right? There's a lot of things they got. You could subliminally influence them to do that, right? After the 5th round, they go to you and it's like, well, you're my sex slave now. I'm taking away your vocal cords with the power of the siren or whatever, right? You see this weird shit going on all the time. No, they do that, right? They just don't. Huffington Post got to talk about hexes. Oh, stop believing like that. Oh, magic's not real, guys. There's some weird shit out there. You're rich. You've seen some weird chicks perform some weird stunts for cash. Yeah, it's my brainwashing. You've seen it? You see it one time, it's like, I need to forget about that. Get a good night's sleep, right? Look at that. All those videos of follow your passion. Follow your passion. It's called, you know what drives innovation? Needing to do something, a need, a desperation. Right? How to find what you truly need to do and be innovative about it. That's the right title. Remember what happened in Britain when they got blockaded by France? They needed to innovate to survive. Then that farming and agriculture, that became their passion. I forgot what the dates are. They needed to do that, right? Find your need. You will always make it work out for you because those needs will change eventually, right? Not your wants, I mean. That's sorry. Because you can't, because you think you need that, right? But so you have to go, so the framework you have is you need a want to do it, right? But you need to do it, right? The trick is it becomes a want soon when you realize, hey, I can achieve these needs in a better way. That's how your wants start shifting. That's where the AB system comes from. If Scott disagrees with me, I'm totally ready to debate with him on this topic. Right? So here's the problem. If none of you guys, so here's the problem. When all the fixed income immediate cash flow jobs drive up, which I'm concerned about, you all need to become business owners. I'm sorry, you all need to become business owners. That was the default economy. And now, because of all the college jobs, you need to bounce between all of them. I'm sorry, Jeff did something like that. They all did, okay? Talk to them. Seriously, have a conversation. Have a beer. To ask them, like, did you bounce between 10 to different 15 jobs, right? Yes, they did. They all hated each other. Stop pretending like this didn't happen, right? So a lot of the people, when Amazon was founded in 2001, right, they didn't really have to do that. But the problem is the business infrastructure started long before that, right? It started with his parents, right? They were gathering connections, right? Amazon might have started out as like a house, right? Maybe it started in Jeff's house first, right? Arguably, I would argue that's when it actually started, when there were no employees but just him. I'm sorry, people complain, that's fine. He yells at people. He used to do all of these things. I'm sorry. You can't come, when you need to do something, you feel like there's a call from God. That's what I bet you it was. To start a business from Amazon or you get bankrupt, you know, the God gives Jeff's parents a vision. I'm betting you like $1,000, that's what it is. Something like that. I heard from Jeff, I could be wrong, right? I'm basing this on an assumption that it's like a family of caravan travelers, right? I think it's religious. That's the only drive I could think that would be a need. I got a call from God. I need to start Amazon. There's no money there. What are you fuckers on? Do you want to know what people actually are passionate about? Money. That's the only passion that really exists in the schools. So if you're a billionaire, that's all you have to know. They're following their passion of money. They're just like you guys. Nothing wrong with that. You just need to deliver some actual value to them. Right? What value they want is people can market for them, right? Because they're taught art so much, right? Is anyone doing that for them, for Jeff Bezos or Amazon these days? Or Jassy? I don't know who actually runs Amazon, by the way. It seems like there's a lot of fiction surrounding it. Anyone? Anybody? Oh, no takers? Okay then, right? So so there's very few people that actually need to do this. So here's this guy being deceptive as fuck. So I'm going to tell you, if you're hosting here, you are losing money. If you're any of these commercials, you're losing money. So how would I do this? Here's what I would do. Do email marketing. Personally, send these YouTubers something. Actual hints on how to start their own YouTube business to help support their fans, right? Support him. This is a fucking waste of time. This is a complete oh, you don't even want me to click next. That is a complete fucking waste of time because that email marketers are the only people who are serious about this are the ones who are into email marketing. It's painful as fuck. That's why I'm desperate. That's why I'm doing this, because I don't know if I'll keep this job. I don't have the right personality. And not only that, I'm sort of getting cash flow. I'm kind of keeping my job. Not only that, clients, right? You need to build clients for people to vouch for you, even get a job, right? Those are your references. Even if they fucking hate you, they know you're going to be their best butt fag friend, right? YouTube is the cheapest way to start your own business. Show a bunch of vids, talk to a bunch of people, get some subscribers, get those views. But there's no pay immediately, right? Ideally, you should just, and then you can use it to eventually bump up to an actual respectable, positive cash flow job, right? And it's because you learn marketing, you could bounce to marketing on the side, right? Insurance, you can bounce to between 2 jobs instead of just this is your only job, right? Marketing and sales, right? In business, arguably, right? So it's like 3 jobs. Yeah, so a lot of these YouTubers might as well just go to corporate. So here's why you should quit your big tech job. The decreasing value of money. So that's not an argument. Here's why. Facebook is broke. As Mark Zuckerberg, I need you to start a YouTube business.
He used it when he was deciding to start Amazon.
Yeah, it is. There's a lot of people resigning. There's probably another reason. Anyways. Jeffrey Bezos. And so now that after you heard this sounds like a hellscape when he laughs.
We were taught that we have to choose. Decide who we are. Careerists, hedonists, humanists. We don't play by these rules.
So what is this? Anyways, let's advertise for some Amazon products. So I'm starting my own business, right? Indirectly, the cheap way. Because I need a clientele, right? So Jeff and his family, so technically Amazon started the moment that Jeff's parents came up with Amazon. That is not anywhere in Amazon's history page, by the way. No one's playing about it. So if anyone copies me, they can do it way, way fucking better than me because they have superior genetics. Why do you think I'm talking about genetics? I'm being really bluntly honest with you. Because good genes allow you to iterate this stuff at a faster pace and sell stuff persuasively. Everything boils down to gene pool now. Because environment is practically, and it'd be great if you have good environment, right? That's fantastic. But we all know, like no one cares about parenting, right? The environment factor is practically non-existent. This is a battle of designer babies now. Right? I have inferior genes. Of course I do. I have autism. I have like somewhere on level 4 ADHD. Something like that. I can't fucking like think myself out of a paper bag on like some of these math tests. I admit I'm retarded. That's why I'm an SJW, because I can get some capital. Because I realize complaining gets you somewhere, right? I'm totally all for demonstrating value. But until then, I'm just going to roast and be an ass fag retard. The prize is to become that right-wing priest. Right? I don't need to be that, but that's why we negotiate and barter. Fuck it. I'll just a leftist LSJW Anita Sarkeesian style. Want to talk about gender tropes? Let's go, girl. So, here's the problem with Amazon's history. Jeff, that looks like a blank stare. Actually, if you're looking at this, you probably are giving like, oh my fucking God. So, what does that fucking mean? This company was created back when his parents came up with the idea and got the call from God. That should be on Wikipedia right now. Not this shit. This shit, there's something big should be added. It's like this whole series is missing. What about his parents? Because your family unit's important, right? Gathering clients, where's that story? Everyone, so this is the problem. This sells. This makes people motivated and inspired to do shit. But that's not the truth. There's definitely some backdoor and front door marketing going on, door-to-door sales, that we do not know about. Where is it? After reading a report, so I'm doing it because I couldn't succeed with an e-commerce myself, so I want help. I can't pay for it. I'm broke, bro. 50 grand, fine. You can call me a cheap ass for not spending much, but it's not enough to get help from these people. So I want to offer something else. So I'd rather get fixed income, maybe help later on. So look, after reading a report about the future of the internet, the projected annual web e-commerce grows at 2,300%. What's real about this? You create a list of 20 products. Okay, where are the clients? So look, this is my point. It looks sexy. He started creating a list of 20 products, right? It's like, boom! I read something and I got a premonition. I'll tell you the real story of how Amazon's actually found it. This is what most likely happened, and it's a very dangerous story. I actually am thinking about product animation, actually. So let's look at myth and legends, and let's look at the story of Abraham. This is exactly what happened. This is what the most likely story. Something like this happened.
And not only that, but why is the serpent's punishment?
It's no secret that Abram shared a special...
That's what happened to his family. That's how Amazon was actually founded. Do you want to know why that's not there? Because that's disturbing as fuck.
Even adamant. For one, God is more present with Abram than the former two. And as far as the Bible tells us...
And I'll tell you how...
more in terms of guidance, wisdom, and even earthly reward.
Yep. This is most likely what happened. It's not there, right? There was a journey to Mecca. There's a journey to Canaan, right? They slept. God woke them up, right? God sent them a signal through magic. They did not want to fucking do it. But the longer they delayed starting Amazon, the more they saw their friends slowly die and disappear. Do you want to know why that story's not there? That's what I just said is the reason why. You don't even need to think about it. People are dying.
He had faith in him that he
They needed to start Amazon to save their lives.
and to ask God for his counsel.
Same story for Google, right?
And it serves to show believers that if they are open,
You have to be a believer. Who else do you turn to but God?
you could be endless.
Now, you're obviously gonna short him later. Don't get me wrong. Because who wants to fucking talk about this?
Can expect to be blessed. And whilst they might still be tested, they can maintain some resolve in the fact that God will help them through such adversity.
I'm willing to do this now.
Abram make a habit of doing this in time, as he not only obeys God without question, thus showing how much he trusts him, but also that God never lies to him.
Look, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm really sorry, you college grads, if you hear this and your life's ruined. I'm really fucking sorry, okay? It's always been a dream. I'm fucking sorry. It's a complete fucking dream. These people followed covenants, okay? Your parents, Jeff's parents probably don't want to talk about this shit. Right? Jeff, you need people like this, right? They're never going to do that for you. You know what they want? They want immediate cash flow jobs straight off the bat. That never happened back then, okay? I'm sorry. People worked in retail for a couple decades. They signed magic packs, okay? I'm sorry. They signed the mark of the beast, okay? I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm sorry, America. People are lying too much about this shit. And once you sign magic pack, of course when you walk to a company front door, you get a job. Of course you can. Right? If you're a rich guy looking at a job applicant, what are you thinking now? Right? Fuck the job applicant system, right? I need some people who can run some fire for me, motherfuckers. So here's what happened. Here's what God's warning is, right? No, this happened. So Abraham versus Abimelech, right? This is the type of shit they had to go through.
On MyHeritage, you can build your family tree and make amazing discoveries about your family history really easily.
After the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, we are told that
So they had to make pilgrimages, right? So God gives warnings. He has no choice. Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe Jeff's dad maybe God tried to make sure that, because I'll be honest with you, you don't really have free will. That's why people want to forget about the past. You can be a rich as fuck billionaire, you have no free will, right?
Here we learn that Abraham gets up to his old deceptions again, where the Bible tells us.
Right? Maybe Jeff's dad's wife, right? Jeff's mom tried to seduce. I don't know. God does some really stupid, some terrible shit. I am not praising God right now. I don't even like him. This is the real story. Look at that Wikipedia page. Now it's all fake news all of a sudden, ain't it? Because you see more of these trials present throughout the story, this entire Wikipedia article. All of a sudden, fake news, ain't it? Because you're missing that context, right? You have to run this kind of water to start these companies. Buffett did too. You want to do that? You say you want the days of the old. You want those jobs back. You want to walk through a front door, right? I don't even have to say anything. Of course. Of course they'll give you a job. You want to run this fire? Absolutely. Right? You know that phrase, what can I do? That's the joke. None of you guys want to do anything. Right? What can you do for your country? The joke is no one was doing jack shit. You saw that euphemism, right? That was just when the system officially died. It's being passive aggressive. No one did anything. Now, people who read the history books like, well, they're actually more. No, they weren't. The joke is they were lazy fucks. Anytime you have to put that on a bumper sticker is the moment you're not doing shit. You're just virtue signaling. You're not doing it. That's why the president put that there. It's an ironic joke. Fuck what they said on the... Okay, look at the paperwork. There's evidence, right? That's part of the joke. You're missing satire. They're all in on the satire, by the way. Because people are passive-aggressive as fuck. So let's go back to Mucklesville. You see a bunch of dogs, right? Oh, they must be pet owners. Missing the context, they're harassing me? Or talking about something else? No, there was nothing. These people need to stop complaining. If we're talking like actually fixing, now if you want to see that everyone die in a flaming bowl of fire, different story. I don't care. I'm a nihilist. I don't fucking care. Now, if you aren't one, you need to have an honest conversation about what the fuck happened back then. Let's not pretend like the good old days. You just there was no context of why you got that job, right? Everyone helped the CEO's ass. Everyone became a fixed client. That's why you can walk by and get a job. And if you forget that, fuck that. That's not valid advice. People can complain to HR if they want. I am not saying it's a non-valid advice. I'm just saying if a rich guy heard this, I don't even think it's popular. I'm going to play it safe. If they heard that, they'd probably just machine gun them. Of course they would. Well, if you don't want to carry water, I'm just going to say, you're out, right? You're out of the job, right? You can be a programmer as a reward for failing the business venture. right? Maybe not as high pay, but I'm just saying. So people gave guarantees because that's what it is. That's what it is, okay? They have talent, right? You don't want them to starve. You want to give them capital in a very exploitative way so they can start a business again, right? Like, don't be a dick fag too much. It's not going to help you make money. So what's the modern era for data analyst? A lot of these projects. So you're going to be going to Amazon Book Club. A lot of these employers, right? They're going to be giving you a lot of books from Amazon.com. Like this. Right? Brought to you by Data Sketches, a journey of imagination, exploration, and beautiful data visualization, right? Give you a lot of books. They don't recommend you go to school. The programmers give you it wouldn't even be too much work, like I said before. They give you a list of recommendations. Probably could just get it from Google, right? Get it from Amazon, right? Maybe you don't even know. You could do it for free. You could literally poke Jeff or Amazon or Jeffrey, not Jeff, sorry, Jassy. I keep getting my terms wrong these days. So let's say you I don't even deny I steal shit from the break room. I'm poor. So here's this, right? This is what makes money. Now, no one in the AWS team wants to do this now. Bye-bye. I think right now Asia has a stronger seed capital to form a higher Amazon stock. That's because they know how to draw anime and do all the animation so they can bounce between more jobs. Luckily for billionaires, they don't have to care. I think they have greater potential. They just need to pick up another oath from God. I don't know, you kind of have to. Now, there might be some easier capital later on, but you don't need the best drawing. Anyways, so you look at this stuff. What they would do is, instead of giving you a list, they would say, here's this special link. Click on it, this book. And all the course syllabus would be like listed right here. They could do that. There's probably a way to code that exception in, right? In return, it's assumed they would guarantee, not an exact guarantee, but it's an implied guarantee they buy all those books. Because the recommendations are specialized, right? You don't have to pay anything. You just do that. It's like, well, their school's finished. Go take your time reading that book. Go take these exams, right? Pass it. You can take practice tests, right? You spend around, let's say, $500 max. You got this, right? Well, you can force them. You just barter with the school. Now, if you need a computer lab, you just say, hey, I'm going to barter with you. $40 a month, right? Like I said before. There you go. There's your classroom lab. It's a dick fag move. Does Sundir do it? Sure, I'm sure he will. They all will eventually. Just be an asshole. You don't need the schools directly. The schools will get pissed, but it's like, well, dude, you don't own the building. The government does. That's how the schools kind of lose money. When you start purging the classroom labs and not the teachers themselves, all the costs suddenly just go down to zero. You want to use the gym? You can get the membership. Suddenly, we're flexible. Yeah, part of your syllabus is going to the gym, right? I don't know. Daily. Might as well have an official study calendar, too. This is how you cut costs. This is how you hire people for like $20 an hour for a senior programmer. Right? 20 to 30 later on if you work for enough years, right? It's just this is what people did back then. Yeah, so that was more risk taking, right? You don't know where you're going to finish. You could procrastinate any time, right? There was no guaranteed cash flow, right? I mean, in the meanwhile, for courses while you're studying, you can start advertising for the company, right? We don't care about how long it takes you. Why don't you advertise for free in the meanwhile? You know how flexible that makes the company? You don't have to ultimately go to that company, right? Wants change to fulfill your needs, right? If you don't want to buy it, I don't know. Up to you. I don't think a lot. My impression is that a lot of job applicants would rather be on food stamps. Slack around, right? No shame in that. Just don't expect a job. And then government mandated order could force you back to working. Go to the data mines, right? Salty bet style. Let me see. Is there a here's your life. Here's your life. Here's your life, college guy. This is your fate now. Come on, college students. You get to live inside the corporation now. That's what people are thinking when they get a job. They're so excited. Keep the dream alive, you guys. They'll protest if you shelve them. They need these positive cash flow jobs now. They're gonna protest, bro. Gotta keep it alive. Whee! Man, I really wish I could start an import business. Cause I'm pretty desperate. That's why I'm also doing this. This is flexible. I did not do this for viewership. I definitely didn't. But I would love if I got viewership. It helps to get a client base. I hope YouTube gives me more views on these videos. I'm willing to run any risk for you guys. I know I can't poke you guys privately. You guys are less social than my, I think my only quote friend, Jonathan. If you're protesting, you might as well just play this song while you're protesting like a lot of these HQs. They'll come. Trust me, they'll never get over this. If you cut those tech jobs off, this is way worse than Antifa. They're just gonna. As for me, I'm trained in the art of science. I can ignore, if a billion people try poking me, I can just ignore them. So that's why I'm saying you should be a little nice, because these people will, fucking hate you, right? You go to the Rose Garden, right? A lot of these peasants. You might as well call them peasants at this point, right? The college grads. That's what the Greek gods used to call them. Yeah, they're going to be called peasants if you keep doing this. Yeah, I'm sorry. Look, Japan's got a more promising genetic base. You can why am I talking about this? Because all advice boils down to whether you have genes, whether you have the gene genetics to recognize the intelligence, right? Without any of the drawbacks, like you procrastinate too much by spending too much on beer, right? While at the same time handling your addictions, right? Which is another aspect of intelligence. But the thing with genetics is there's always trade-offs, depending on how the amino acids are organized. Look, I'm sorry, it's racist, but we got to talk about this, right? If you're an SJW, you're wondering why you're not getting far in life, right? There's your answer. We need to look at this objectively, right? Racist ideas do have some value. Right? There's a reason why this is valid. We need to think about this right now. Is it possible, right, that African Americans might be... Maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but you see something there. So if you're a black SJW, you got to question yourself, right? No, seriously, because you're seeing it. Their advice, a lot of advice they give isn't working. And part of changing your mind is being willing to criticize yourself. Isn't racism a criticism of yourself? Being racist towards yourself? right? You always start at the extreme somewhere. Yeah, you have to go ask about genetics somehow, right? There has to be a way to poke this topic, right? Now, it might be right, it might be wrong, but there's something there, right? Because how else do you explain why certain advice works for other people, certain ones don't work for others? Now, there might be different circumstances, don't get me wrong, but if you have good genes, you can figure out what exactly those circumstances are. Now you're SJW, they think you're retarded. You can confuse the environment for good genes, right? You're dumb. Who the fuck cares? Right? Down is up is right, whatever. Yeah, they do think you're that retarded. We are that retarded. Take the chance, right? Upgrade yourself. Yeah, a lot of this advice, fuck. Now, here's the joke. You just lie your ass off and don't say that this advice is invalid. You just say, I'm going to become a programmer. Just find those positive cash flow jobs. There's plenty of them, right? If you're smart enough, you'll get them. Yeah, you can find it. Me, different story. Might as well play some Sonic R music remix living in the city. Suicide up, you guys, right? That's pretty much what these people are going to say. Right? So, now Jeff's not going to be very friendly if you poke him too hard. He's like a grizzly bear. Yeah, I don't know. Those college grads need those jobs. Oh, they have to bounce between multiple jobs. So if we wanted a legitimate... So you remember why there's a fuck ton of requirements? I know, Josh, I disagree with Fluke. There's not enough. If we're going by the standards of the 40s. Now, if you're going the current standards, okay, I agree with you. But that's the default. So you're bouncing between 3 jobs. At least. Doesn't matter what the tech was. You just had to. No matter how many times things fucked up. I'm sorry. Right? You needed people like Fluke to run things, right? Joshua Fluke. Right? Because you want to figure out how to negotiate. Well, I don't want to bounce 3 jobs. I might want to just keep 1 job, right? You have to negotiate this stuff. Negotiation is an important skill in the free market. No, you don't. None of you guys, none of the college guys really want to negotiate, right? They don't want to barter with the businesses. They don't want to deal with customers. No one does. So it ends up to a lot of ritual. They retire as programmers. That's the funny joke. Because it's easy, right? You don't have to run a business. You don't have to run any risk. Sure, it's less cheddar, but there's quite a few. They will lie, of course. It's not always worth the billions. So once you think in my mindset, you start asking a lot of other questions about your life. Yeah, so that's why billionaires spend on dumb things like Colts and magic balls, right? Because they think that might actually help them save their business, because business is very volatile. Risk is very volatile for business. You don't know if you're gonna... They lived in a world where they were not making any money the next day. So what do you do when you're in that situation? You can use magic to feel so stable and secure. Anyways, I will be done. I'm gonna actually, if anyone, and it's kind of funny as fuck, you can actually sell, Microsoft products are sold cheaper on Amazon too. See, this is the problem at Microsoft. Why would you buy directly from Bill Gates? See, you could just buy can't you just buy a Dell laptop from here? Maybe not. I thought you can. Oh, if you can't, right? Yeah. Look at this. So it might be cheaper. And convenience, right? So you don't even need to advertise for Microsoft, right? No, technically it counts as a Microsoft advertising, but it's not a direct one. So Microsoft's drying up the most. They're probably the most in danger of bankruptcy. They're old. They haven't really innovated in a while. Bill's just retiring doing philanthropy work, right? And it's hard to sell these laptops, and they sponsor on YouTube every once in a while, but it doesn't help their sales. I'll argue it's a negative impact. Not sure how big. You can't go any lower than bottom, right? Yeah, Microsoft needs people who can bounce between multiple jobs. Right? They really do. They're not going to have that. That's not what job applicants want. They just want to coast by with a data analyst position. Now, Bill, you won't escape. You'll still get poked. Yeah, so... Oh, is that Reddit? I just saw something on Reddit just quickly pass by me. All right, we'll be done. We're done on this podcast.